Well, while we're waiting for Kate or anyone else to get started, I'd like to make my announcement. For all of the ninth graders who are enrolled in TIL, which is all of the ninth graders, that class is going to get started during cycle 3. That's the first class is September 18th, which is a Friday. And your schedules on My York should reflect that accurately. So that's when that class is going to begin. And you're going to get to witness a great teacher, Ms. Torg. Everyone else here who was here last year knows Ms. Torg. She's a fantastic teacher. She's taking a little time off this semester. She'll be back in the fall, but she's going to come and teach the TIL class for a cycle, while our wonderful librarian, Ms. McDowell, is moving into her new home for the time being. As you know, that she tragically lost her home in the river fire, and we send her the best. And thank you all for your patience while she adjusts to her new life.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Brookhauser. So Kate's having internet problems, so I don't think she's going to be able to make it today. If she does pop in, we'll know. But yeah, I guess we'll just keep rolling with the announcements. Thank you, Mr. Brookhauser, for starting us off. Next up, we have Seth. Seth has an announcement.
So I'm going to make 2 announcements on behalf of Tech Squad. First of all, if you're having any tech problems, just a reminder, go to help.yrk.link. So help.yrk.link. Problems could be something like physically wrong with your computer. If you're having trouble uploading your homework to Haiku, various problems, just let us know. Someone on Tech Squad will reach out to you and help you fix the problem. And second, tomorrow we will be having a different break link, so please go to d.yrk.link to get that new break link.
Okay, awesome. And looks like our last announcement is Mr. Key.
Thanks, Kevin. I just wanted to thank everybody who was responsible for organizing and planning last night's back to school night. It was the first and hopefully last virtual back to school night that we will have. But I wanted to thank Mr. Raymond, Mr. Wilcox, and Ms. Pompan from the admissions office for all their hard work. I also want to thank Ms. Moneypenny, Mr. Brookhauser, and Mr. Zeljo for making sure that all the links worked and getting the calendar scheduled. And it was pretty seamless for parents, and having been a parent on the other side, it was really smooth last night. And then finally, and most importantly, I want to thank all the faculty, and I just wanted students to know that faculty were up last night till 9 o'clock, supporting you as students and talking with parents about their classes, and it was a really successful night. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that. So thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. Oh, wait. I heard some feedback. I know for a fact my mom really enjoyed last night, and she had a lot of fun. There was some tech problems, but I think that's why we were there to help them out. Yeah, with that being said, I think we're all done for break today. It was another quick one. Hopefully we have more announcements and more stuff to talk about.
Kevin, I have an announcement.
Oh, yes, please go for it.
Okay. First of all, you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Aloha, everybody. Mr. Peters, Mr. Bloom, and I have an exciting announcement regarding York's athletic and health and fitness programs. We're going to talk to you a little bit about those opportunities this morning, and then invite your participation in a survey. So we'll probably take about 10 minutes here. As you may know, through the summer, York's COVID task force worked tirelessly to ensure our community could safely return to campus by meeting California guidelines. Currently, the state will not allow Monterey area schools to offer indoor classes on campus. However, owing to recent guidelines, we are confident we can offer on-campus outdoor cohorts for physical fitness and some extracurriculars. A cohort is defined as a single group of 14 students and one adult supervisor. In order for these cohorts to meet on campus, they must abide by York's COVID protocols for being on campus, and cohorts cannot mix. In a recent survey, many families indicated that they were willing and able to drive to campus for such activities. Meanwhile, we know that some students need or would prefer to stay at home. And for those students, we want to provide equitable opportunities for health and fitness and athletic training. I want to emphasize all of the opportunities we're going to explain to you today are voluntary. Nothing is mandatory. And we encourage your participation because we want you to be active and healthy. So Mr. Peters will now join us to explain more about these opportunities, and then Mr. Bloom will explain the survey to you as well.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Hello, Mr. Peters here. We're going to try and roll out a few of these athletic cohort options. I want you to know that they're not in the sequence that they have normally been in the course of a fall, winter, and spring kind of model, because the state has changed that model for 2020, 2021. So currently, we're going to offer some outdoor sports / training activities just to get you moving. And we have some people that can man those activities. And some of those are coaches that typically have different life schedules in which they're not usually involved in York sports at the times that they're going to be involved for these cohorts. So if you don't see some choices, it's because as of right now, there's probably not people available to cover some of those options that may be coming. Be aware that this is probably going to go for about a 4-week time period. And then next quarter, we'll transition to another sort of menu of choices as we get closer to the launching, hopefully, of the actual sports seasons that are going to occur starting in December, with sports and schedules and games rolling out sometime in January. So there's a lot of things changing here. But for right now, we're going to offer some choices that are going to be on the survey. So what you want to be thinking about is, what would you like to do a couple of times this cycle per week that would benefit you as an athletic person that wants to be active and also fulfills some of the game skills that you could use to help you. And so the survey will affect that. There's a couple of options for cross country, for soccer training, dry land water polo, outdoor volleyball. So take a look at those and see what you'll have. And again, we'll launch some newer choices, some other choices when we get to the second quarter. We still have plenty of time because all the seasons have been moved back. So don't think that because it's not on the list this time that it's not going to be on the list in the future. So take a look at those and then decide which of those cohorts you'd like to be a part of and sign up for that. Then once we get done with the data, then we'll come back and figure out where everybody's going to land based on some of their choices. And then Mr. Bloom is going to talk about sure, of course, Mr. Williams, yes, you can. Can you do that after Mr. Bloom? Hopefully that'll be okay. Now Mr. Bloom's going to talk about the other aspect of it. There's also a biking activity that's part of that as well. So take a look at those choices, and then Mr. Bloom is going to speak, and then Mr. Williams is going to talk real quick, and then we're going to give you time to do this survey. And I'll be available for questions at speters@york.org. So with that, Mr. Bloom, you're on stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you. Get ready to get excited. We have some great offerings. Here's how this is going to roll out. I'm going to share this survey with you just on the screen so we all together can look at it. After I've gone through the whole survey with you, then I'm going to put it in the Meet chat so each of you can take a few minutes and fill it out. So then let's together look on my projected screen at the options, at the survey form for what we're doing. Okay, so again, we call this quarter 1 2020 York survey because after fall break, there's a possibility we're going to change things up. But our overall goal here is that you're doing these activities that you enjoy. As Mr. Raymond says, strength in mind and body is part of your culture. Brains work better when muscles get a workout too. So in the survey included here, you have some fall athletics as well as some health and fitness activities. And we're going to read through the whole thing before you actually get the opportunity to make choices. So, big picture. This fall, really this quarter, you can choose from either just one on-campus activity or just one virtual activity, or you can choose one on-campus activity plus one, maybe even more virtual activities. So if you're interested in an on-campus activity, you're going to provide in the survey a first choice and a second choice. You're only going to end up, though, with at maximum one on-campus activity, just so the cohorts aren't mixing with other people. All activities will take place after school, and once signups are complete, you'll get contacted about which activity you're getting and the start and end times for that particular activity. And again, you can email Mr. Peters, myself, or Mr. Raymond if you have any questions. So survey is going to ask your name, it's going to ask your grade level, and then get excited, here are the on-campus options. Boys cross country, Monday and Friday, meaning if you're going to be in that cohort, probably they're going to meet Mondays and Fridays. By the way, let me say, we've posted particular days for these activities. There might need to be a little bit of wiggle room with your particular group. Your groups will sort of discuss that with you, but these are the provisional days for these activities. So boys cross country Mondays and Fridays. Boys and girls cross country Tuesdays and Thursdays. Boys soccer training Mondays and Fridays. Boys soccer training Tuesdays and Thursdays. Water polo / swimming dry land training, which will be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then biking clubs, kids get excited. Boys, girls biking Mondays and Fridays. And then a different boys, girls biking group on Thursdays. There's going to be girls soccer training Tuesdays and Thursdays. There will be girls volleyball Mondays and Fridays, girls water polo / swimming Mondays and Fridays, painting, and yoga, but that would be one day a week, assuming we get enough signups. Okay, so those are the options. That is question number 3. The choices in question number 4 are the same. You're just selecting a backup choice, a second choice, in case for whatever reason your first choice doesn't work out. Note that after you select that on-campus first and second choice, you're asked if you're interested in an online activity. And for this, you can actually select more than one. You can choose virtual HIIT or high intensity interval training, virtual mindfulness, virtual yoga, or virtual soccer training. So if you like multiple of those, select multiple. If you just like one, choose one. If you prefer only an on-campus option, choose none. And again, all of this is voluntary, right? So if you're not into it, you don't have to do it, but we highly encourage it to because we think it's going to promote your well-being profoundly. The final question on the survey is, I'm interested in virtual health and fitness of another type, meaning you'd like to have a Google Meet where we're doing some other kind of health and fitness activity. If so, please fill in a short answer for that question. Okay. So at this point, I am going to share in the chat window the link to the actual survey. On your marks. And actually, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. We're asking that you please fill in the survey before you leave break. If you could take the next 5 or 10 to fill it in, that would be great. And there you go.
Thanks, Mr. Bloom. There's been some really good questions in the chat. Some of them we're prepared to answer, and some of them are still being out. So just with regards to being on campus, students and supervisors will abide by all of the COVID protocols that are in our blueprint for fall. You can find the blueprint for fall on york.org under academics. Mr. Peters is aware of a number of the coaches for activities, but we're not going to go through that list right now. 8th graders can participate in the athletic training. 8th graders would not be able to compete come December for the actual league season, but 8th graders can select from these on-campus activities. Our aim is to have students on campus by 3:30, and activities will ideally have a duration of about an hour or more. And I'm going to download all of the questions from chat that are coming in, and we will follow up with you likely on Tuesday's break with some feedback on the data and as many of the answers to these questions as we can. The most important thing for today is to let us know your first choice activity, your second choice activity, and whether or not you're interested in the virtual offerings.
And again, nothing is mandatory.
Can I jump in now?
Oh, yes, please, Spencer. Yes, my apologies.
Oh, no worries. I wanted to make sure that you all had that opportunity to chat around that. I just wanted to make sure that the students who are interested in doing like extracurricular performing arts, that we are working on it. It is a little more difficult in regards to kind of putting some of these things together than you know, maybe some of these offerings that we are going to do with athletics. So right now, I just wanted to give you an update. So in May, for our new students, we did announce we usually do a fall musical, a winter play, and then we were going to start a tradition of doing a concert out in this outdoor theater in the spring. So we had announced that we were going to do Oklahoma Almost Maine and The Sound of Music. Now we're put those on hold to kind of learn more about some of that. Partially, we have to learn about copyright law and how we push that out virtually. We have to figure out how to navigate social distancing in a space where theater is not really socially distant. So right now, Mr. Davis, who had worked on Chicago last year with us in lighting and set design, he was going to direct Almost Maine, our winter play. He's actually working with the Broadway Teachers Network and doing some training on virtual programming in the next week or so. So we hope to have some more answers in regards to kind of how we can do this this fall, maybe early winter. So I just definitely didn't want you to feel that we are not thinking about it. We are working on that, and as we learn more, we will let you know, and hopefully we can get something together. And then the hope is if we're back in the spring, that we can still produce the musical Oklahoma and continue to do that. So I just wanted to throw that out there as we're looking at athletics as well for our students who are interested in the arts.
Thanks, Mr. Williams. So I just want to emphasize that there are a lot of plans in motion, plans for athletes, plans for health and fitness. It's important for you to understand that you can participate in any of the on-campus cohorts, whether you identify as a competitive athlete or not. If you're just interested in physical fitness, these are inclusive activities. If you are unable or would prefer to stay at home, if you're unable to come to campus or would prefer to stay at home, we have the virtual offerings for you. I'm just seeing a few questions in the chat around the mandatory nature. So you do not have to fill out this survey. By not filling out the survey, you are telling us that you are not interested in these activities. That's okay. If you are interested, please fill out the survey. Your participation is not mandatory. Your participation is invited.
I've also just adjusted the survey so that you can select which answers you give. You don't have to answer all of the questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bloom. There was a question, if you want to do a virtual activity but not an in-person one, you can do that. Just let us know that you're interested in the virtual. When the virtual activities are posted, anybody who wants to join that Meet link will be able to join the Meet link. We just want to get a sense of how many people might be joining us for virtual activities. Tomorrow, the survey will be in the Falcon so that it's available to your families as well. And we will post the survey in other places as well so that you can find it later today. Continue to work on it.
Mr. Peters, Mr. Raymond, shall we say that once a student is completely done with the survey, they can leave break?
I think that Miss Moneypenny has a shout out.
Oh, okay.
Hello, hello. I do have one quick shout out. I'll make it really quick because I know you got to get to the next class and stretch between these break meets. I just want to give a quick shout out to Anna, to Lily Tran, to Cynthia, to Leonardo, and alum Irea for their work on Project Logic. They hosted a town hall last Saturday and about an ask for creating a center for mental health awareness and support for transitional age youth. And I just want to give them a quick shout out because they were amazing. They've been working so hard and made us really proud, and I'm excited to start the conversation and to see where they can take it with the local stakeholders. So congratulations, woohoo!
All right, Kevin, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, yeah, just like they were saying, if you finish the forms, then you're all good. Just try and get it done sometime today or sometime soon. But these are great opportunities. And I think we're all very thankful of the teachers, staff, and faculty for, making these opportunities possible. I know it's going to be a process, but I myself, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen and having these opportunities. So something to look forward to, and also the weekend. So let's keep pushing. Almost there. Go to class and have a great rest of your day, guys.